phone, I'm riding the town seat, laid back. Got that the spot, counting my stacks. I got racks upon racks on racks, and I go hard till I can't no more. My money is about as tall as Shaq. Wax the chrome on my Cadillac. White walls shining like they coming back.
Riding in that new thing faster than Sonic. Bad wiping me down like Delta Sonic. Spit shine, got me cleaner than an old shoe shine. Drop the top, lay it down. Boot time. And I'm looking right.
We're here with Street Journal Online, Season 9. You're here with the new host, with the most. Mama should have named me Rakim, cause I ain't no joke. Jono. And what better way to start the year off when talking about some sports? So we're here with a good buddy of mine, Brian Lewis, formerly of WBLK. And you know what I mean? We just go do our own little first take, partner interruption type thing, and just see where we can take this. So let's see, what you want to start with, the NFC or AFC?
Well, let's start with the AFC since we're in the AFC city, which is the home of the Buffalo Bills, who we'll have to get into later. The AFC playoffs looks like Brady versus Manning. And you know, through the history of the National Football League, these two guys have gone at it. Probably the two elite quarterbacks that have played in the National Football League over the past, I'd say, 10, 15 years. So I like Peyton Manning personally.
Right.
But how can I go against Tom Brady?
Tell me about
In
it.
a big game when Manning has not delivered time and time and time again. It's a tough matchup for Denver with a lot of the injuries. Their starting quarterback just went out with an ACL tear. So Brady's got to be licking their chops. Plus, not just talking about New England's run game, pass game. Look what they've done running the football the last couple weeks, especially starting off against the Bills. This experiment of ground and pound started with the demolishing of the Bills in the last regular season game for New England.
So 6 rushing TDs last week.
6 rushing touchdowns is nothing to sneeze about. This is old school football, like kind of football like when I first came up.
Right.
When I was first watching football, if you can go back to some of the Bills Super Bowl runs, they used to pound teams like this. So the Patriots look like they're prime ready, but don't sleep.
You can't.
Because guess what? They could be throwing the ball too all over Denver. So you want to talk about the Broncos. What do you like about Denver?
As you stated, Peyton Manning, he's looking better than ever. Last year I was amazed to see what he did off of the neck injury, and this year it's like he just even exploded even more. He's breaking records, and each week it's like he's finding the fountain of youth or something, like he could play about 3-4 more years. Also, their rushing game. And what I like about both quarterbacks is the fact that they make stars out of their receivers. Like, I never heard of an Eric Decker, no offense, or what's the other guy's name, Demaryius Thomas, like people like this, until Peyton Manning started throwing them the ball, and then it's like they become household names, along with Tom Brady. So, I'm just looking for a good game. My team is out of it. I still got my playoff beard because I was going for the Panthers. I'm a Falcons fan as well. I was hurt when I seen Kaepernick do the little, all that, but we're not going to talk about that. But with that being said, we might as well step into the NFC now.
Oh, hold on. I want to make it. You talked about a good point. I want to go back to, if you don't mind.
No
you
problem.
talked about make it out of nowhere. What about Julius Thomas? They talk about out of nowhere. The guy was a tight end at Portland State, played basketball.
Yeah.
And now he's a Pro Bowler. He's a guy that could cause New England some serious problems in that game. Plus, the home field is going to be a big advantage for the Broncos. Yeah. So, before we jump over, who do you like? Who are you going to take in that game?
If I had to take one, like you said, you can't bet against Tom Brady. So I'll go with the Patriots.
So he's got New England. You said I did say I can't bet against Tom Brady. I'm going to. I'm going to go with Denver.
Okay.
I think Julius Thomas is going to be a mismatch for them. I think the home field is going to help them. I think Peyton Manning's got a lot to give after that terrible loss, which you really can't blame him. He wasn't the safety giving up the long touchdown to Jacoby Jones, and when the Ravens upset him, I'm going to go Denver. Close game, good game.
30-27, something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. 30-27, it's going to be a lot of points, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Now, you talked about the interseed. I'll
Right.
let you start since
Okay.
you mentioned you love the Panthers.
Yeah.
You like the Falcons, so you should be familiar with these two teams.
Right. So, with that being said, I got a little chip on my shoulder because of the last year's NFC Championship, man. I didn't even know it was fourth down when Matt Ryan threw that pass, so I still have nightmares about that. So, with that being said, man, I'm basically going for Seattle. In the beginning of the season, although I stated that I'm not going to bet against Tom Brady, I said that I seen that it'll be the Seattle Seahawks and the Denver Broncos. So, I still think Seattle's looking strong, man. Like you said, that home field advantage is no joke. That 12th man, I was watching SportsCenter this morning. They were doing the sports science on how loud it gets there. And like it's louder than thunder at times. So, I mean, it's going to be hard for Kaepernick to hear. And they beat him already this season. So, I'm going with Seattle on that one.
You know the one thing I know about this game? These two teams hate each other.
Tell me about it.
There is no love with these two teams. I mean, they hate each other as much as two teams can. You talked about it. Colin Kaepernick versus Russell Wilson.
Right.
You got Gore, and you got Marshawn Beast Mode Lynch, who
Beast Mode.
he should still be in Buffalo.
Oh, man.
I'm just going to say that right now. You got great defense versus great defense. You got the home field factor. I like the 49ers.
Oh.
And the reason why is they are playing great football right now.
No question.
They have won over 10 games out of their last 12 games, 10 and 12, 11 and 12, the record. They have solid coaching. I'm not a big Pete Carroll fan. He's done a great job with Seattle.
Yeah.
But I love Jim Harbaugh's approach to the game. And, you know, psychological warfare, mental toughness plays a big part in the National Football League and football.
That's
and
true.
Jim Harbaugh, after the game and during the halftime, talked about the confrontation between his players and the Carolina players. And one of the things he talked about, you know, they obviously got in the Panthers' head.
Oh, yeah.
The Panthers weren't experienced in playoffs for a while, and the 49ers were. And Anquan Bolden will literally get into
Show
the heads.
you.
But you know what? It won't work as well with Seattle. Richard Sherman is a no-nonsense guy.
Oh.
But I think for some reason, the 49ers are on a mission. They're going to surprise a few people. So your Super Bowl looks like New England and Seattle.
Yeah.
I got San Francisco and Denver. I'm going to go with the 49ers winning it overall.
Winning it overall. I feel like the young guy, Russell Wilson, is going to do it this year. I feel like last year they were close. We took them out of the race, but I was on the edge of my seat in that game when I felt like it was over. So like they could have took it last year, and I feel like it's their year now. So I mean, Tom Brady, he's going to go there, but I think he's going to be known as that quarterback that had a lot of losses in the Super Bowl.
You may be right.
Yeah.
So we both have the NFC winning. Now, we can't talk about football
Mm-hmm.
and not talk about the team in this town. I must sigh. 14 years
14?
of not making the playoffs.
Man, I was in the 7th grade then.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
And then the last playoff game, of course, was home run throwback versus the Titans. You know,
Music
Kevin
City
Dyson,
Miracle.
the Music City Miracle, running down the sidelines.
Man.
You know, I saw that game. Rob Johnson, quarterback. Yeah, that long ago. All those names. 99. It's incredible. A lot of people thought they had a chance to go back to the playoffs this year. Obviously, they didn't. And so they had, you know, a lot of people are still calling for the Bills to get a quarterback. What is your take? Because that is the most important question about the Buffalo Bills, the quarterback position, because they really haven't had one
Right.
since Jim Kelly, a significant, capable quarterback of getting them to the playoffs again and again. So what's your take on the whole quarterback situation?
As far as the whole quarterback situation, I kind of like EJ Manuel. I just feel like he had a couple injuries this year, which kind of made it to where we weren't able to see his full potential. So I'm kind of anxious to see what he's going to do this year. I wouldn't mind if they drafted another quarterback or maybe tried to, find one in the NFL already, just for that backup. Because as I said, we don't know what he's going to do this year. So I don't know, man. The Bills, I just on a side note, it's almost like they're cursed or something. And when you mentioned Rob Johnson, it got me to thinking how it seems like, man, the Bills let go certain players, and it's like they go to other teams and they become so successful. They even may win a Super Bowl ring.
He did win a Super
Rob
Bowl with
Johnson
Tampa.
did.
Even though he didn't play well, he got one holding the clipboard. But
What
you're
was
right,
the
yeah.
one guy named the running back we had a couple years ago, Antoine Smith or something like
He
that.
won one with New England.
Yeah.
Marshawn Lynch is doing well with another team.
Like I said, I mean, I want the Seahawks to win, so Beast Mode might get him a ring this year. So I mean, man, hopefully one day, man, we can get it, man. Because I would love to be rooting for us to do something, man. Because they kind of hurt me when I was a kid. When they went to those Super Bowls, I begged my mom for a coat. I begged every day. She finally got me one, and man, I wore it to the little Super Bowl party, man. We lost, and man, I just wanted to burn the coat, man.
Yeah, 4 years in a row.
Yeah.
I was at that last one, and it wasn't fun being
That was when
there.
I got the coat. And
It was not. It was not fun in the Georgia Dome to watch the Cowboys rush out over the Bills. I love EJ Manuel. I like his poise. He's big. He's strong. I think his footwork needs a lot of work. I've seen him make throws. His feet sometimes don't set up right, and he short passes and it really causes him some accuracy problems. There's a lot of talk out there about Johnny Manziel. That's one of the names. I'm going to put this right on camera right now. If the Bills draft Johnny Manziel, I will literally probably become a Patriots fan, and that's my most hated team in the NFL because I don't think he's going to be a great player. I don't. A lot of people love him.
Yeah.
I don't. I think
like
running
the guy.
around
Yeah,
is not going to play in the National Football League.
right.
And we've seen this horror movie before. It's called Doug Flutie. We remember where did that get us?
Yeah.
I love EJ. I think they got to give him some time.
I
Give him
do
some
too,
more
man.
weapons.
Right,
We
right.
need a bigger receiver. Stevie Johnson is, Stevie.
Yeah.
We need to shore up on the offensive line and, maybe get a tight end in here. Improve the run defense with a middle linebacker bigger than what they have. Because Kiko Alonso, even though he won Rookie of the Year today from the Pro Writers Association, he is not a guy that can hold up in that middle consistently at 235 pounds. The Bills haven't had a beast linebacker in forever.
Right.
I mean, and there ain't Ray Lewis is growing around in the net, everywhere and on trees.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to get a guy that can lead and show the way. So until then, I think the Bills could be struggling.
Outside looking in.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's not 15, 16, 17, 18.
Oh no, me either, man. He's
I
like
know.
a wild card, bro.
I know people that have shirts. Just one before I die.
Yeah. And that's if we got a little time, that's something I wanted to ask you because, like I said, I was a young man when a kid when the Bills were going through the Super Bowl. And what I want to ask you though, being a grown man, during that time, like okay, let's say like the third or fourth year. Did you still have hope that maybe they could pull it out this time? Like, how did it feel?
The
Like,
third, well, it's interesting you bring up the third year. The third year was the year that the miracle happened, and the comeback
right.
at what it was
Time.
Rich Stadium announced the Ralph that
Oilers.
against the Oilers. Yeah, that War Moon and all that. I was not at that game. Matter of fact, I was across the street at a local establishment.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna mention the name, but knock twice. They say then you knock twice again and you get in because the game was blacked out.
Right.
But I saw it there. And the funny story about that game, there was a gentleman there that was cheering for the Oilers. He was the only one. He was every time the Oilers scored, he'd yell "Hello." He looked like Shaq, long black coat. It's a great story. So after we were like, "What's going on? Why does he keep cheering against the Bills?" He said he's got $500 on the Oilers. So me and my brother sat there and said, "When the Bills score once, we won't say anything. If they score again and make it close, we're going to yell hello." So they scored. We yelled hello, and you know how it went from hello to hello. The whole bar was into it. We ran that guy out. The greatest comeback in NFL playoff history. And it was a great feeling. They rode that momentum to go. So when they played against Dallas, the thinking was, the Cowboys, first time here, we got experience. We can beat them because we have the experience. Right. We've been here before. No, you can't win a game when you turn the ball over that many times. And, it was the worst loss ever. But and then when they went to Dallas again, you thought maybe they know Dallas, and they were leading at the half. You thought, and then they turned over again, and they lost that game. So it's just a thing. Turnovers and playoffs. You'll see that play out this weekend with the 4 teams playing. Whoever doesn't turn over the ball is going to probably win that game. Yeah, turnover in a regular season game is big, but in a playoff situation, a championship game, it is monumental. It's huge, and teams feed off that emotion, and it just goes down from here.
Yeah.
We can only hope, maybe that the Bills will do the right thing with the draft and with free agency, and EJ gets his act together, and we can finally get a winning team.
Hope.
I'm sorry.
Okay, we got a little time. Let's run into the NBA real quick.
Well, I think the NBA is about the Heat. In the Eastern Conference, it's about the Heat, and more Heat. Well, and then the Pacers.
Oh man,
You're
Tell me
talking about
about it,
teams
man.
not liking each other.
yeah, they definitely got a chip on their shoulder. You see me rooting. I'm a Heat fan. Well, first and foremost, I'm a LeBron James fan. I know I kept slack from the Heat haters where they say, "Oh man, where was you at when it was Alonzo Mourning and Tim Hardaway?" I was rooting for the Bulls, man. I was, but
Like mostly everybody else.
Yeah, but I just always been like one of those people that adapt to a certain player. So with that being said, I fond of LeBron James, so I've become a Heat fan. I like the Knicks as well, though. As before we got on camera, we were talking, and you let me know.
Yeah. I like the Knicks like a rash on the back of my ankle or something, on the back of my calf. I never liked the Knicks, never at all. I love the Heat. I didn't used to like LeBron. I mean because I didn't think he worked on his game. When I came around to really liking LeBron is when he started working on his game more. When the guy went to Akeem Olajuwon and said, "Hey, I want to learn low post moves," my ears shot up, and I said, "Uh-oh, he's serious about winning." And I think that's why they won the last couple of years. He works on his game. He's one of the hardest working players in the NBA. People say what they want to say, but he's a hard worker. Dwayne Wade, fantastic player. But he just added more pieces to their championship puzzle. Michael Beasley, and they got Buffalo native Greg Oden just trying to get healthy and hopefully be able to play
Come on, Oden.
in the playoffs. So hopefully he comes on.
Yeah.
My favorite team, it's the Wizards. I've been a Wizards fan since I was a kid when they were the Bullets. But they have a good team this year. They beat the Knicks twice. Everybody out there watching.
Did they beat the Bulls last night?
Yes, they did.
Okay.
Beat the Bulls by 12. John Wall, probably the fastest player in the NBA. Nene's healthy. They got Gortat from the trade with Phoenix they traded him for Okafor. He was badly damaged. So I just want a playoff berth. The Wizards, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
They haven't been in the playoffs a long time. Just like the Bills, I just want a playoff berth, and I'll be happy with that. But the Western Conference, no Lakers. Laker fans, y'all in rough shape. Kobe,
Then you just should sit out the rest of the season and come back next year?
I think so. They don't have a shot to come anywhere. They're just not going to make the playoffs, not going to do anything. I think the Western Conference is going to come down to teams like OKC, Golden State, and San Antonio. So,
I'm going with the Warriors, man.
The Warriors look good, very young team, yes.
Yeah. But it also comes down to experience, especially with the NBA. So with that being said, like you said, either San Antonio again, or I could see Oklahoma going for it, as long as Westbrook stays healthy.
Yes, that's the key point about that. So with the Heat and the Pacers, it's going to come down to who gets home court, I think.
Yeah.
So there'll be some good games. Check that out. I think the NBA get a lot of flack for some people, but I think the NBA is experienced a good time. I think there's some good teams. Western Conference is a lot better overall, but you got 2 teams at the Eastern Conference are very good, and that could win the championship. So I think it's going to be Miami again. I see a 3-peat coming. Sorry, Heat haters, but the 3-peat is coming.
Let's go. Like I said in the beginning of the season, I definitely want to see that 3-peat. So I'm going with the Heat to take it off.
This what they want. This what they want. This what they want. Come on. Jet fly, so thorough the rest slide. I'm humble, I kept quiet. I'm really the best
people.
ride. This what they
Back with
want.
your host with the most. Mama should have named me Rakim because I ain't no joke. Jono. And as I stated before, we here with my homie, Brian Lewis, and we just gonna do a little talking, getting the people more familiar with you because I'm a new school cat, and you know, as I said, they said you work for WBLK, and I'm like trying to get more familiar with you. You being old school, I think it's only right that let the people know where your origins come from, where you started, and
I think you can pretty much tell by the lack of hair on my head that I'm old school.
right.
And I go back a little bit. I believe when I was around your age, that may have been around the time where I had a high top fade, if I could grow it. That, back then. But I originally started out at WBNY, and my name back then was Brian Love.
Brian Love.
Yeah, so everybody. Seemed like everybody had a Love to their last name.
Yeah.
Of course, I went by B Love to some people.
B Love.
And that was cool. And there was, everybody had if you had an initial B, you had a name like B Ski. And there was other Loves that.
What was your line name?
Yeah, as a member of Phi Beta Sigma, that was my line name, Love.
Love.
When I pledged back in the day. And I blew fire to my brothers in Beta Iota chapter and Theta Sigma chapter in Buffalo. But Brian Love. And we started out playing hip hop in Buffalo before commercial radio did.
Okay.
Now, I wasn't the first one to play. I got to give, there was brothers, there's Ebony Crew, Quincy Floyd, I believe he was on when there was AM back then, and at Buff State. And WSCB, and then the Mix Sensation really was the one that really started it off. Zafel Owens, he was one that was really playing a lot of hip hop on the radio and mixed music. That was on Thursday nights from 7 to 10.
Right.
I was one of the people that started on Sunday night, and the way they started was it was all kind of tied up in the fraternity thing. There was another brother on there, Thomas Dunlap. They called him Ice T back in the day. He was doing a show, but he was pledging Alpha Phi Alpha. And he decided that he did not want to be on the air because the big brothers knew where he was.
Right.
So he called me. I came down. He said, just take over. Don't say much. And I said, okay. And I thought about it. I'm on the radio. I'm going to say something.
Gotcha.
This is before I was, before I actually was a member, so I didn't have any responsibilities. So Brian Love was born. I went on the air. Thomas came back after he became a member of Alpha Phi Alpha, but I got a show the next year, starting out late. I came after him, and the rest is history. Now, we played, you gotta understand, back then, commercial radio did not play rap or hip hop at all. They did not play it. Matter of fact, it went as far as when you had rap and R&B records,
Right.
they would not play that version. They would only play the regular version. So that's
crazy.
Can you imagine that now? You imagine how big the music is right now. I mean, the station I listen to the most now, and I listen to a lot of satellite radio. I listen to Backspin.
Yeah.
I'm all about the old school.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of artists. It was a funny story. I mean, Salt-N-Pepa's going to be here in sometime next month, I believe, right?
Yes.
And while they were performing in front of a small crowd at Buffalo State in the old Houston gym, I don't know which one it was. I believe it was Pepper lost her engagement ring, and it flew into the audience. They stopped the show.
Turn the lights on.
That ring got back to her, but the girl that got it, that found it, did not want to give it back.
Yeah.
But they made her give it back, or the show wouldn't go on. That's just one of those stories that I remember from back in the day, the early hip hop and concert days, and it was a lot of fun. The music was fun.
Now was that Push It Salt-N-Pepper or Shoot Salt-N-Pepper?
No, that was Push It. That was.
Gotcha.
I think it was even before Push It.
Bamboo earrings and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah, oh yeah. So they got it in. They were like, no,
Yeah,
homegirl, you want to
yeah.
get that ring back?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I mean, that was definitely going to happen. It was a lot of fun, like I said. Back in the days of vinyl, where DJs survived getting records from outlets and getting music crates. And funny story, I was so much of a trooper. Blizzard of '85, I had a show that night the blizzard hit. I went and carried my records and and a big gym bag and went to the station, did my show, and then the blizzard hit. And I was stuck on campus for 3 days.
That's determination.
Yeah, dedication. Well,
Dedication. There you go.
You know, as being an artist in the game, if you don't show up when everything is falling apart,
There's somebody waiting.
somebody else is ready to take the
That's
spot. Now, I'm an old school guy. My groups of all time.
Right.
You mentioned Rakim.
Rakim,
I'll tell you right now, Rakim, best MCF. In my
bad
opinion,
at you.
you know, this guy that's come. I'm
I've
not even going to mention the guy that's coming to town this month. We'll get into that later.
Okay.
I think he's better than him. Maybe didn't have a bigger career, but I think his style, he was better than him.
I know what he talking about.
I'm not going to mention his name, and we'll get into that story later. Run DMC,
God.
Public Enemy.
Yeah.
To me, my other favorite, by far, was KRS-One.
KRS.
Boogie Down Productions.
The bridge is over. The bridge is over. Yeah.
What is the song where he just breaks down the whole game where he comes up and he has to sell drugs, gets his brother involved. Oh, it's on. You know, when you get my age, you forget.
Yeah.
You know so many.
Man.
But tell me what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah,
You know, Love's Gonna Get You.
I was gonna get
Love's
you. Yeah.
gonna get you.
Love Gonna Get You. To me, one of the greatest records ever produced in rap and hip hop.
The video was okay, but that song was.
But you know, the videos for the time and the era.
Yeah.
But that song, man, it just tells you. It tells you how to. It still happens today. It's still relevant. How guys come up selling, and then because he says we don't have anything to eat. I'm wearing 2.5 pants because I got to share the rest with my brother.
Right.
So now my sister's got all the new fly gear, and we're not eating beans and rice or whatever. We eating steak. I'm paying the rent. That still goes on today. That song,
Timeless music.
timeless music.
Yep.
It's hard for me to get into the new school.
It is.
You're a new school artist.
Definitely.
Why should I listen to music today
I mean,
instead of listening to the music from my past?
right. Okay, and I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you, right? When you mentioned KRS, I just came back from California. I was with a homeboy of mine, and man, he was playing some old school music, man, and they put the bridges over on it, man. We vibing out, and I'm just like, man, ooh, this feeling is giving me, man. I'm like, man, music don't do this no more. And I be feeling like my moms and them back in the day when I used to hear them talking about when I first fell in love with hip hop for real, like the 96, 97, around that time. And they, this ain't nothing. And they referenced the KRS-Ones, the Run DMCs, and all that. To this day, my mom will break out. 1 year ago, we hit the record time. People go. So I'm familiar with it. But back to this new school.
Because I don't know why. Because
It's like that,
and that's the way it is.
1983, Run DMC.
Come
like
on,
it was
man.
yesterday.
Come on, man. So, but man, listen. It's the music that's being fed to the mainstream from the new school that have you thinking that we don't have it. It's a lot of us that are making good music. And when I say us, I'm speaking as far as myself too. But like I said, I'm the host. It ain't even about all that no more. So we speaking from a host perspective. So I'm gonna just speak on the new school rappers. Rappers that I listen to, and they got substance. Like I said, the convo we was having off camera, I told you.
Okay, I'm leaving here.
Right.
What's the first CD put out or download whatever music I should get right now, produced in the last 2 years?
Produced in the last 2 years.
Which one should I buy?
I'm gonna tell you to get Kendrick Lamar, Good Kid, Mad
Write
City.
this down. Kendrick Lamar.
Good Kid, Mad City.
Okay.
Wow.
Public Enemy. Fear of the Black Planet.
So I've
If
heard.
you don't own it, buy it.
I'm gonna get it.
80s.
Fear of a Black Planet.
Fear of a Black Planet. Man, that says it all.
It's the title.
And honestly,
Black, what is it? Black Steel and Our Chaos. I think that's I got a letter from the government the other day. I opened Reddit and it said they were suckers. They wanted me to be in the army or whatever, pitching me, giving it. I might say never.
Right.
I mean,
You said
had you in a room like this,
Man.
you said two. He named one. You
Oh,
said two.
yeah, he's got another one? You got another one?
You said two.
I mean,
Yeah.
let's see. What'll be a second one? And you said within the past 2 years, right?
Sure. I'll give you a little time.
Okay.
No, you said one. Two.
Let me see. Let me see. Oh man.
And please don't mention two people that I know I would never buy.
And see, that's why I'm trying to give you some people where I'm like that, man, you could probably vibe out to.
Let me tell you who they
I
are.
say J. Cole.
Okay.
I say J. Cole's first album, Sideline Story. It came out about 2 years ago.
Okay. I'll never buy a Jay-Z CD, and I'll never buy a Kanye West. Never. Ever. Ever.
Why?
I'm not saying they're not talented and produce good music. I would not buy it.
I gotta tell
Somebody
you,
gave me a
Kanye's
free
late
concert
registration
ticket,
album.
I would not go. The Jay-Z is far more talented than Kanye. Kanye is all about controversy, and we'll get into that. But I mean, it's a controversy. What's the latest project he came out
Jesus.
with? First of all, I got a problem.
Jesus just rose again.
Yeah, we know that, but it's not him. But I have a problem with that. But I also have a problem with when he did the spinoff from Bloods on the Leaves,
Yeah.
Strange Fruit.
Uh-huh.
One of the greatest songs ever Billie Holiday did,
Right.
which is about lynching. So I get what he was trying to do, but it didn't come out right.
No.
It was not a good project. I do not think. He went off and talked about how people were hating on him and Jay-Z. It was all kind of, it was mangled mush.
Right.
And I just did not feel the vibe. I'm just not feeling it. I never felt Kanye. I just felt he's a guy that, he's in the news now. I guess he
Right.
just beat somebody up for
Yeah, 18-year-old.
Yeah.
Called his girl an N-lover.
Yeah.
We'll get on that
Well,
N-word in a minute too, man.
look, you can't blame him for that. You got to protect you. You got to protect
Oh, you got
your
to,
own.
man.
But I'm talking about musically.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see it with him. Now Jay, I interviewed him when I was in this game. You know, when I was DJing at a station in Rochester,
Right.
and we got into it about the use of the N-word because his first big record, I believe, was
Chigga. Oh, no, yeah.
No,
ain't
no, no.
I
nigga.
forgot you was
Ain't
about
no like the one I got, Foxy Brown, right?
Yup.
And I asked the question. I asked him. I said, "Well, why put it in the title and prevalent? I understand you can use it throughout the song, or use it, what it means, because right back, you got to understand the time back then. That was around 95, 96. There was a lot going on. There was beef going on. It was the Biggie
East Coast, West Coast.
Yeah, that was going
Right,
on,
Biggie.
and I think that may have just gotten done. I think
Dying down.
Well, yeah, because I think after that record came out after they were no longer with us.
Yeah.
So I was asking about that and the fuel, and he was like, "Well, it's a term of endearment. Is the N-word a term of endearment to you, and why?"
I believe so. And the main reason why I say that is because I was raised on the word. Came up in my household, my grandmother called me that. And I don't take no offense when she called me that. Now, I'm someone, as a man, I'm trying to work on things. And one thing I'm trying to work on, especially with dealing with music, it's like you catch a lot of slack and hate. So it's like I'm trying to make it to where words don't affect me. So it's like we give words the power. Like, you said you don't condone it at all.
No, I
okay,
don't.
that's cool. That's cool. But then I know some people where it's like they use it around their friends, but then get offended if like someone else is saying it. And to me, it's just like, I mean,
Especially when that's someone else is from a different background.
Yeah,
They're different from a different ethnic background.
right. I mean, I'm just like, man, I think the new generation is kind of like, it's just another word to us. And I know that, dealing with where it comes from and the fact that, I mean, it just almost destroyed our people. But that's neither here or there at this moment. I can see why people feel like it shouldn't be said, but in that same breath, I feel like it was said before we was here, and it's going to be said once we gone. Richard Pryor made the word famous.
Yeah, he did. And he's one of my favorite comedians of all time. You're right about
Yeah,
that.
too.
You said something that was very compelling to me. You said the power of the word.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I mean, look, I'm half a century now. I mean, when I was born, I was still, well, before, I wasn't even born yet, but when I was conceived, I was in my mom's, waiting to be born, the March on Washington was happening.
Right.
You had brothers like Congressman John Lewis speaking. You had, who was young back then. You had, of course, Martin Luther King give the speech. You had a lot of powerful people on that day. They had signs like "I am a man." They didn't have signs that "I am an N-word"
Right. Right.
because
Real for life.
we're not that. I mean, for life, right? But people are saying that. You got artists that are making projects where they sell millions and millions called N-words in Paris, and they're promoting that. And I had someone that I knew say, well, that's because they can buy the city and they have massive millions of money, and they're just showing everybody it don't make a difference what you think of them. That's what they can do. And the new school may think that. But I know is that people just see two foolish people.
Exactly. And
then they use that term to describe them.
can I just reference Kanye? His first album, he had a song called "All Falls Down," and a lyric that always stuck out with me. He say, "And for that paper, look how low we stoop. Even if you in a Benz, you still a nigga in the coupe." So it's like I totally agree with you as far as that. It's like people try to substitute that, like, man, the boy's getting money, man. Like, man, he could buy you. And it's like, man, that's not everything. I mean, don't get me wrong. I want to be rich. I ain't gonna even lie. Like, I strive
I think we
for
have
it,
that in
but-
common.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, if I don't, it's like you find happiness in other places. Like, money can't bring it. I mean, there've been times I done had money in my pocket and I still feel like, so.
But are we willing to sell our soul? And what will our children say, or our nieces and nephews say, when all we are is N-words on video, on a CD, on a sound wave, on a download, on Facebook? If we just produce that,
Right.
what are we doing? Where is the message in our music? Where is it? I mean, look, Trayvon Martin,
Right.
gunned down. Man got away with murder, in my opinion.
He definitely did.
I was waiting. To me, in the past,
It didn't feel real when the verdict was announced, right?
no, it
Like,
didn't. In the past, when people passed away, you had the hip hop generation come up and put it in their music, and man, Spike would put it in his movies.
Right.
Where is it? I didn't see any projects. Not
Yes, I
even
did.
Trayvon. I mean, you got Otis Grant and the Fruitvale Station,
Right.
which is if you haven't seen that movie, go see that. That movie is powerful. To me, the best film of last year, in my opinion. I was deeply moved by that movie because it showed a man trying to do the best he could, coming from a rough background, a lot like people in the game, trying to make himself better for his daughter.
Right.
And that's what a lot of artists, young artists like yourself, is coming up. If they have children or if they have families they can relate to. And it's like going like that. Because when that police officer saw him, he didn't see a young man trying to make a change. He just saw another. That's what he saw, in my opinion. And that's why his life is so expendable to them.
Right.
So if we don't change that with the message in our music and with the message in our projects.
Now this is the thing.
So what is the message in today's music? Because I'm not hearing it. Maybe the ears is too old. Maybe I
Right.
shave off the hair that grows when you get old. You ain't looking forward to that.
No, not at
No,
all.
I know
Man.
you're
I
not.
wish I could keep my ways, man. But I'm like I said, it's still message in music, and it was things I wanted to touch on where you were saying like being known for niggas in Paris, and I'm like, you can't just. When I look at Jay-Z and Kanye, that's not what I title them as. Like, that's just a piece of music that they have put out. When I look at someone like Jay-Z or I look at a Kanye West, they show me hope that it's an opportunity out here for you to make the most out of your life. And that's what I take from them. Now, you mentioned selling the souls and all that. I don't know what all that's about, but I feel as though that these people have got there through hard work. And I've never... Kanye do things that are out of the ordinary, where it's just like, wow. But Jay-Z always carry himself as someone that you can look to as a role model and say, you know what, I can strive to be to be something like this, a businessman.
Well, you can't fault his entrepreneurship. But
Right.
obviously, he has that gift, and the gift of music. I mean, look, I'm not. You know, if somebody's watching this and they say, "Well, that guy's a hater. He just mad." No, that's not.
No,
don't misconstrue
I don't
that.
think so.
And he's very talented.
Mhm.
Didn't say that. Very extremely talented and gifted. It's just that, you know, I just happen to like Stevie Wonder and old school hip hop.
Oh, me too.
Instead
we
of
go all day
him.
on Stevie.
Oh,
right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Now, but yeah, okay. So now I want to get back to the message. Now, like I said, it's artists out here that put out a message. As I stated, a Kendrick Lamar, a J. Cole, a Big Crit. There's probably even some cats that I'm not even hip to that can give you a message. A Talib Kweli, a Mos Def. But the thing is, it's like that music gets shunned away. We don't get a chance to hear it. I'm hip to this because I'm a musician myself, and also I'm on different websites where it's like I go on there and I see new videos and I see that they're working on this project. But someone like you that may not be in the internet age or may not know about a World Star Hip Hop, it's like all you know is what you see on a BET, and it's like, man, from that I can see where you would get the impression that all the music is terrible. But it is artists out there that can paint a picture that'll have you like, you know what? I can relate to that, brother.
That's it.
So yeah, like you know, I was saying, it's like the music that's being fed to the people is not the definition of hip hop. And my main thing is with you working on the radio, it's like I feel as though it's not a lot of DJs that's willing to take a stand and say, you know what, I'm gonna play this or I'm gonna push this artist because they may lose their job. So how do it come where it's just like, okay, we're gonna play this, tap your toes, do your dance, strike a pose, instead of playing some.
Well, look, I mean, that's funny because when I was on the station in Rochester, New York at DKX, I was the music director. I did afternoons and I also did middays, but I was responsible for selecting records. So, I mean, I didn't necessarily want to play That's Just My Baby Daddy.
Come on, there you go, good example.
But everybody called for it. I don't know what, to me it was, I had to look at it as comic nonsense or I just couldn't take it. But it was a nonsense fun record. It even spawned a movie. But that was, and then, I mean, you gotta remember that. And then the 90s, look, the 90s, they had a slew of records just came out.
Tootsie Roll.
Thank you.
Tootsie Roll.
Donkey Butt.
Donkey butt.
They just came,
Yeah, man.
you know,
Baby got
tag
back.
team, back again.
Chicken
You know,
chicken
it just
Come
moves
on,
there. It just,
baby.
and then for every record, we had a contest.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Rum Shaker had a Rum Shaker contest.
I wish I was at that one, man. I was probably past my bedtime.
Yeah, I sometimes I get a memory. of it.
Yeah, man.
But that's the way it was. And you know, so music is always questioned from whatever era it is.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it is. But it's for the young people.
and so I've been told.
Yeah, it's your era belongs to you.
Mm-hmm.
And look, they questioned rock and roll
Yeah.
in the 50s. Then they questioned the 60s, what they were playing. Then they questioned the 70s, what they were doing, you know, Brick House and the Shaking and all those. That got brought into question. Then in the 80s came along and they questioned punk rock and some other genres of music.
Yeah.
And then in the 90s we talked about, and then, you know, from the millennium to now, the music has always been questioned by a people that have been outside of that demo that it didn't serve.
There you
So,
go. Right.
and that's basically what it is. And I understand that. That's why I'm glad you gave me the two artists. I'll check them out.
Yeah.
Maybe I won't have to buy them. Maybe somebody can, you know.
Oh
you know,
yeah.
hook me
I'm gonna see what I can do.
And I got some music. You know, one of my favorite groups is a jazz British group called Incognito, fabulous group. Man, they just play great music. So I've gotten into more of the music instead of just the lyrics.
Gotcha.
But I don't know what I would have been without music
Me either.
and the opportunity to have it. And there's always message in the music. I think you're right. You know, from Marvin Gaye's "What's Going On" to KRS One was "Love's Gonna Get You" to the music that you're talking about.
Brenda's got a baby. Tupac Shakur, man. You can't forget Tupac Shakur, man.
No, you can't, dear mom. You know,
Yeah,
brother.
there you go.
I mean, there's always good message in the music, and I think people got to remember that and not get so caught up into the fact that it is music. It's like,
Say it again.
it's music.
It's music. That being said, stop blaming artists for the fact that your child is not paying attention in school or his pants is sagging. I was always told to start in the home. Hey, I came from a good household. I ain't turned out too bad.
Yeah, nobody wants to see an old man's pants sag.
No. Now, see, I'm skinny, so that's why mine sag, but I definitely try and pull them up. Otherwise, I'd be walking around looking like Urkel, and then it'd be another story.
No, you don't want to do that.
No. But once again, man, you know what? Brian Love, that's what we gonna go with, man. From here on out, man, Brian Love, man, like he said, man, he started with WBNY. He informed us. I didn't know nothing about the fact that hip hop wasn't played back in the day, but it's a jewel. They say you learn something new every day. But with that being said, man, we gonna pretty much wrap this up, man. Like I said, I'm the host with the most. Mama should have named me Rakim, cause I ain't no joke. John O. We here with Street Journal Online, Season 9. It's going to be one of the best seasons ever. Shout out to all the hosts before me, man. Thank you for paving the way. I salute y'all, and hopefully I could do as good of a job as y'all did. Once again, thank you, Brian Lewis.
Thank you.
Brian Love. Be love. Love. You know what I'm saying? Till the next time.
Yeah, we can work that out later. What time you coming through? Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I'll just be getting home around that time. No problem. You do the same for me one of these days. Alright then. Yeah, I'll catch up with you later. Right, deuces. Got this nigga.
Alright, man. See you soon. Yes, sir. Whew. Yes.
So what was that all about?
That was my man Ice. He just came to the rescue.
Came to the rescue? What do you mean by that?
Man, he gonna let me finish Angela demo at his joint.
Wasn't all of your music and everything in your computer? How will you ever get all that work done again in somebody else's studio?
That's the beauty of working at Ice's joint. He got all the same programs on his computer that I have on mine.
Okay, I don't get it. How does that help you? You still have to sit and re-record all of that music you spent all the time working on. Isn't all that stuff lost now?
would be. If it wasn't for Chris.
Chris, your cousin?
Yup.
And what's this?
It's a flash drive.
I know what a flash drive is. What does it have to do with your studio?
Remember when the crackhead broke into my cousin's house and stole all his shit?
Yeah, that's when you and Zach first went and got your own stuff, but...
My man Raphael, the TI guy, told me I should get a flash drive and save all my programs onto that. So if I'm at somebody else's studio, I could just load it right up. And if my system crashes, I don't lose anything. I'm so glad I listened to that motherfucker. Besides that, all the beats are in the drum machine. I took that to work with me to finish the beats for Randy.
Oh. I never thought about that.
Well, I gotta get organized. It's gonna be different working somewhere else.
And I gotta get up to the station.
Oh yeah. Yo, I was listening to your show last night. What happened after that one song went off? It was like dead silent for 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah. I thought I had more time. I was in the newsroom talking to somebody.
Who? That Vaughn nigga?
No, it was not Vaughn. He wasn't even there. Well, he was there, but I was talking to somebody else.
Yeah, I bet that.
Oh, David, you are so jealous of my career. I just cannot believe you.
Career? What career? You don't even have a time slot. You're the fill-in DJ on the #2 black station in a city that only has 2 black stations. That's AM at that. What am I supposed to be jealous of?
Alright, now first, you gotta convert your files. What version did you have on your computer?
I don't even remember. I think it was called Beats in the Box Studio Edition.
Alright, now they got 3 different versions of it. They got the gold version, the silver version, and the platinum version. What color was the package? If you can remember.
Yeah, I think it was the silver version because I remember it being a silver box with a mixing board on it.
Try to get you to update that whole studio.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Besides, man, I did an upgrade one other time, and man, it just wound up messing everything up. Had my computer moving slow. My customers were complaining because they had to pay more for studio time. I didn't want to go through that again.
Nigga, that's your fault. Besides, it ain't much of a difference in the way it works.
Yeah, but they moved some things around, and it wasn't how I remembered, and just, man, wound up messing everything up for me, man. Basically, some computer geek moved some stuff around, make it look like he was doing his job, and man, could have saved me the headache, man.
Well, fortunately for you, silver files can be converted to the gold files, and the gold files, they can be converted to the platinum files. Just like that.
Makes perfectly good sense to me.
All right, all done here. Just remember to save them as the platinum files and not the gold files when you're ending the session, okay?
All right, cool.
All right.
Hold up, bro. You gotta get up, bro. Producer seat, nigga.
Oh, man, there you go with that shit.
Hey, you already know. I don't even know why you sat down in the first place.
Man, I can't tell the difference, man.
Scoot over, bro. Oh, it's a good thing your client running late. Took a little longer than I thought it would.
Man, that ain't a good thing at all. My bad it's taking so long, man. I'm thinking about that shit right now. I don't know where he at, but...
It's cool. Man, don't even worry about it. Gave me a chance to learn the whole Beats in the Box thing.
Word.
Alright, you go straight to the back and make a left and you'll be in the studio area.
Perfect timing. What's good? You ain't that shit?
Yes, this is my client who was an hour late.
My dog, I am so sorry. I had to pick up Gina from work.
It's my fault. A patient wet herself after I already changed her and had to wait for an ambulance for another patient. I am so sorry.
Don't even worry about it. Yo, we just got something set up anyway.
It's like you know exactly what he did here. Please, have a seat.
Yo, let's just get the session started, man. We already running late, but we can catch up on time. Yo, pull up that Cocaine Blues file right there.
Cocaine Blues. Yes, sir. That's it right there.
Yeah.
Alright. Alright, now try to keep your voice in this general area. Now you ain't gotta be stiff, but try to keep your voice directed towards the mic. Alright?
Okay, I got it.
Alright, she ready to go.
I just want to go over this one change.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Didn't you used to bone that bitch?
That's her. So you could imagine the drama when she walked in last week.
Oh, damn. Was Robin there?
Yo, she just came as they was leaving.
And all of a sudden your shit missing.
Kim and I don't even want to talk about it, man.
Damn, homie. Alright, so you ain't recording none of the verses. How she gonna know her cue?
She know when to come in.
Cool.
When the track come on, you go hear ba-dum, then that's when the hook come in.
Okay.
Ready?
Let's go.
Yes, sir.
That's not it.
What's not it? What's the problem?
That's not what I had. I just need you to do it the way I asked you to do it.
Well, I tried. I don't want to sing this anyway.
You can't just sing it for me. I'm just asking you to sing one little part for me.
I told you I'd rather rap it than sing it.
Again with the rap thing?
I wrote something to it last night.
But that's not what I'm asking you to do. We can do that a different time. I'm just needing you to do this right here, just right now.
I don't want to sing.
Easy.
Always do.
Easy. Now let's see what's up with it.
This not being on my tab, by the way, if this go down.
Anyway,
Somebody gonna pay for it.
I'll pay for it.
Alright, that settles it.
I wrote a little bit. It's in my phone, so. You good?
Let us know when you're ready.
Okay.
It was all a dream, inspired by Missy and Biggie. This fire within me can burn up a city. Through the pain and the struggle, remained on my hustle. Cause it's a known fact that this game don't love you. Listen for the passion when I speak. You gotta start from the bottom before you relaxing on the beach. We out here trying to eat, but it ain't enough to go around. Dreams are just that, and these crabs will try to pull you down. Can't trust anyone, they out here lying. These dudes selling dreams, but I ain't buying. I'ma be unsigned till my talent is proven. So like U-Haul, I gotta keep it moving.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Damn good stuff.
Try. What do you think?
time I hit the ground, I got right back up. Right back up. I got right back up. I don't wanna talk, text, or kick it. I spend no time with nobody else but myself.